seems to take everything on the agenda for today. Anything else from you, Mr. Ed?
Yeah.
Tim? We will, I want something to say.
I came to see Mr. Wirt. I'm the one that called you on the phone, and he answered back from the sheriff on how I'm supposed to pursue these threats or whatever on Craigslist.
I would suggest that you talk to the sheriff. That's what.
I want him to come to this meeting. Like I told you, we got 5 guys that we assume are murderers, okay? I'm not going into their house. You can bring him here and we'll talk about it. I don't feel safe. I'm being threatened. My place of employment's being threatened. I really have had enough. There's time for some accountability in this county.
And how do you feel about covering up the people who killed my son? How do you sleep at night when you know who killed my son? And no one will release their names.
This is Connie Garber.
14
Garber.
shots, and my son, who was sitting on our bed. You know who shot him. How do you sleep at night?
We met with the HR director and one of the lawyers, and because of probable litigation, we were actually given no information. We have no more information than the general public on the details. And
I believe you do.
No, we don't.
I believe-
All we know.
Everybody's protected.
Why is none of our elected officials saying anything about this? Why is everybody quiet?
Does it not matter to you?
The whole public's talking. I don't care if you guys pay attention to my website or not, but I'll tell you what, the community is upset. I talk to people on the front lines every single day in my place of employment. This county is oppressed. We need jobs. There's people fighting over the crumbs. You know, we're done with it. You guys start doing your jobs.
Well, that's a product of not getting anybody to sign anything, so you don't know who.
Yeah, we got
who
fraud in
said.
the courts. We know that.
We got fraud right here. He just said he doesn't go to the prosecutor to get a signed document of legal direction or advice, so he's avoiding the elected official prosecutor to go forward with spending our money on a hearsay word of him. That's what's going on, people. Now, he says he has no information. Certainly he doesn't. Nothing's been signed. Nothing's been filed. I've been telling you that. But it should have been filed within, let's say the common factor is 30 days. Somebody needs to file something, sign something, become accountable for what they said. Just like James Mayer need to sign a document, Ohio Revised Code 309.09. Will tell you it's the prosecutor, not the prosecutor's office. That's why we elect the prosecutor separate from your executive branch and all your employees, is that the prosecutor may speak through the written word under signature and file it. That's what we need. I'm very strongly opposed to going forward with this imminent litigation, hiring a private lawyer, when we don't know why our elected prosecutor, your appointed prosecutor, has declined representation for any reason. He has to give it to you in writing and sign it. You can't just go around the elected official. You can't. There's no democracy there. Me and Tim Wirt, and you all talked about that before, you're running a monocracy here. Tim agreed. We need to get back to democracy. That was in December when I asked you to serve that warrant over to across the street, and it still has not been served, and has not been fulfilled, has not been adjudicated. It needs to go across the street. Gary, you're the lead on this. Can I give you a copy and you will serve it on Namhoff today?
No, I will not. That's not my bailiwick.
You're a servant of the public, sir.
I am.
The sheriff, it's the sheriff's job to do it, and the sheriff flatly refused to do it, and James Mayer has not told us why he won't do it. Now, I need to know why this can't get across the street in Namhoff's hands and get adjudicated this week.
Well, it originated over there. and
No,
that's
it
where it's
originated at the
supposed to
5th
be.
District Court of Appeals, sir.
But the issue was over there.
And yours is county administration, not Ed Olson's administration. Your administrators from border to border to border of the county. The default judgment is a ministerial duty of the court, a ministerial function. You can add to that if you want, and it becomes administration of justice is demanded without denial or delay. Ohio Constitution, Bill of Rights 1.16 will tell you certainly the administration of justice is without denial or delay, and you are the head administrators of this county. Now, when are we going to get justice without denial or delay?
You brought this issue up to us about a year and a half or 2 years ago.
I think it was in December when the sheriff was sitting here asking for more money, and I told you he wasn't enforcing the law. I believe that's when it was. But you should have it in your file and readily accessible, because I gave you the paperwork. I gave some to Tim, and I gave some to Ed, and I asked you to read certain portions of it if you recall.
You did.
And at the end of the meeting, I had a discussion. If you take out the law, the legislature, and if you take out the rules of court, and if you take out signatures, and all we got is executive hearsay, it's a monocracy. It's like the Queen of England. A monocracy. A monarch is ruling, and what we have is the executive branch making all decisions on hearsay, nothing signed by the elected officials. You guys don't even sign stuff half the time, in quorum, of
Randy,
course.
you don't know what all we signed.
I'm asking.
That's hearsay on your part for saying something like that. You know, if you're so passionate about this, you
It's
need
not
to run
hearsay,
for
it's on the
office.
record.
You need to run for office. You can have
I
a
will
job
run for office just as soon
anytime
as
you
that
want.
office opens.
Okay,
I'm in the process of campaigning right now, sir.
so I see that. I see that.
But
And that's
I
your free
raised,
will
I
to do
raised
that.
serious
I mean, this is a
objection for
free
this
country.
litigation going forward, the imminent litigation, without some endorsed reason that we can't use our prosecutor by the prosecutor, okay? Not the office. Office are employees. They're executive branch, therefore, they're not elected to that office. So if you want to go forward with this imminent litigation, don't make this attorney participate in your fraud on the people.
I think you're overstating your argument.
I don't think I am, sir.
Well, I guess you get to a point where you disagree,
How-
agree to disagree.
How
but
are you doing with
when you were-
finding that law you know?
When you were talking about Title III in the revised code, if you go through that, Section 3, you were talking about 309. That's all part of Title III.
309 is what assigns the prosecutor, yes.
If you go through Title III, you'll see each of the county elected offices defined and what the extent of their duties are.
Yes.
And you'll also see language that says, and the blank, it's the same language for every office, and the auditor, and the treasurer, and the clerk of court, and the prosecuting attorney shall determine the number of deputies that he or she needs to carry out the duties of their office, and shall set the salaries thereof. And what that means is that they do have the legal authority to hire deputies.
That is not what it means.
That absolutely is what it
It
means.
says they can hire deputies, but that deputy cannot speak for the elected official.
That's-
period.
That's not it, that's not true.
Nothing in there says that. Nothing in that revised code, and you haven't been able to find the law that says. I'm challenging it. I'm challenging it as the public. I advocate for the public.
Every time they have an appointed deputy, the deputies are given certain authority, and they can act within whatever authority they're given. I'll give you an example.
I agree.
The courts have